In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of writing a high-converting sales page step by step. Hi, I'm Jesse from StartCopywriting.com, and I've been a copywriter since 2004, which means in the last 20 years, I've written sales pages for clients that have brought in millions of dollars in sales revenue. So I'm excited to be sharing my knowledge with you in this free copywriting tutorial today. Now, this video is actually a preview of the full sales page copywriting course, which is available inside Copy Academy. You can check it out by visiting the link below this video. Now, let's start with step number 1, research. You can't skip this step because if you do, what you write may not resonate with your audience and your sales page is unlikely to convert. So with any copywriting project, there are 3 things you need to research. Number 1, the target audience. Number 2, the business. Number 3, the product, service, or offer. So once you've done your research, the next important thing is to write your sales page. Now I'm going to break down this sales page, which is one of my sales pages. Obviously, some shameless self-promotion here, but obviously I practice what I preach, and it's easy for me to review something that I personally have written and to give you the thinking behind it. So how to become a freelance writer and earn a great living working a few hours a day from home or anywhere else in the world. So the headline is the how-to type of headline, right? It's talking directly to my target audience of people that want to become a freelance writer, and it's also talking about the benefits, and there's 2 benefits, actually 3 benefits covered in this headline. Earning a great living, which is benefit number 1, working a few hours a day, benefit number 2, and then benefit number 3, anywhere else in the world. So I know those are 3 benefits that my audience are interested in, and therefore I'm putting them all into that headline, which is obviously going to interest someone who wants those benefits. The subheadline goes into more details. It also helps overcome, sometimes I'll try to overcome an objection in the subheadline. So in this case, the objection I'm overcoming is even if you have no previous experience. So people out there that want to start freelance writing and turn it into a business, a lot of them are concerned they don't have enough experience to get started. So I'm telling them you can do this even if you don't have enough experience. So I'm helping them overcome the objection that's in their mind. So that's a headline. The subheadline, the next part is the video. So whenever you add a video to your sales pages, typically speaking, it will increase the conversion rate. So you'll make more sales if you add video. Now, not all videos are great videos. Some videos will probably decrease the conversion rate because they're not very professional, or the messaging that's being used in the video isn't clear or compelling. So just any old video won't increase your sales conversion rate. You want to have a video that is really a summary of the entire sales page, meaning it goes through the main points that are said in the sales page. I know some copywriters, when they write video scripts, it's literally the same sales page summarized into a shorter script. And that's essentially what I've done here. So if you watch that video, you get a taste of what it is. Video also helps add a personality and show, hey, I'm a real person, I'm talking to you on video, and these are the things I have to say. So it adds that kind of relationship building as well. So videos are very powerful at increasing conversion rates and also boosting credibility by showing, hey, I'm a real person. The next part is the call to action button. Now, I like to have this at the top section of the sales page. And by the way, this section is what we call above the fold. Above the fold is what people see before they start scanning and scrolling down your page. This is where you want to have those important elements: the headline, the subheadline, a video if you have one, and then the call to action button. In this case, it's the join now button. So by having all these things, they work together in getting people excited to take the next step, and that is to join now. This is offering an online course, I should say. This is a sales page for an online course about obviously becoming a freelance writer. So a certain percentage of people will be ready to buy right away, right? And those people can click join now, and that's why I like to have the call to action button early to capture people that are ready to take action now. Majority of people will not be ready to take action, and that's why we repeat the call to action button several times throughout a sales page, typically at the top in the above the fold section, somewhere in the middle where you first introduce a product, and then towards the end, because believe it or not, a high percentage of people will scroll all the way to the bottom of the sales page just to, give a quick review of it. And at that point, they'll stop at the footer of the page. I like to add the call to action button there as well, because then people can also buy there as well. The next section, usually directly underneath the above the fold section, is where I like to create desire. And I can do that by asking questions. So do you love to write? Is a question that I know that my audience are going to answer yes to, right? Because I want to target people that love to write naturally. And I know that's, most of their interests is they love to write. So each of these questions are things I know they want, they're core desires of my audience, and I turn them into questions because I want them to answer yes to them, right? So do you want to turn your passion for writing into a successful freelance writing career? Yes, I think they would. Answer yes to that, and then it goes on and on. You can pause the video if you want to read these questions. Then I transition into the next section, which is talking about relatable problems. Problems I know they're going through that I can relate to as well. So I know these are problems they've experienced that they feel are stopping them from achieving those core desires, like starting a freelance writing career, making money, writing, traveling the world. These are the things that are holding them back. And I know this because I've done my research. Remember, research is essential before you start writing. You need to know what are the core challenges that they're going through, and also what are the core desires of your audience. So we've already tackled the desires. We've created desire, which creates interest in that top section. The next one is relatable problems. We want to write these problems so that people can read them and go, that's me. Yes, I have these same problems. Then I show empathy. I know how you feel. In fact, I've been exactly where you are. And then I relate to them and I share my own story. And that's in the next section. And I summarize the story into a compelling heading. And by the way, when you're writing a sales page, you want to assume that most people are not going to read it word for word. In fact, 80% of people will skim, scan, and scroll the page. They won't read it word for word. They'll essentially just do this, right? And the things that are going to grab their attention are these headings that we see here, right? Obviously, I've added in these boxes as annotations to show you what, to break down the sales page for you. But the things that grab their attention that I purposely include in sales pages are headings that summarize each of the sections, right? So this one we'll get to, but you can see it's got a heading and then it's got visual elements like images to further support my claims that I'm making. Each section has its own purpose, and each section also has its own heading and images, right? And I'm formatting the copy to appeal to people that are scrolling the page like I'm doing here. So that even if they don't read it word for word, they're getting a gist of what the page is about, the inclusions, what they get. They're going to see testimonials, they're going to see bonuses, and I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but I wanted to give you an understanding of how these sales pages are structured. Why are they formatted like this? Why are they so long? Like a common question is, why are sales pages or landing pages so long? Right? Who even reads all of this copy? Well, actually, 20% will read every single word. 80% will skim, scan, and scroll. If someone's about to buy, usually even if they skim, scan, and scroll the page, they'll go back and read the whole thing, just, making sure they know what they're buying. So we want to appeal to both. And the reason why they're so long is people aren't reading every word, but they're certainly scanning through. And we want the whole sales page, the headings, the images, the paragraphs to tell the story, even if people don't read the whole thing word for word. All right, so let's get back to empathy. So by this stage, we've gotten their attention in the above the fold area with a headline, a subheadline, a video, and a call to action button. If they've watched the video, they're now enrolled in the page. They're engaged. They're going to continue reading, right, or scrolling. We then create a desire with the do you love to write with this section, which is all about creating desire. We have then related to the challenges they're going through by saying, hey, we understand them because I've written them out and I've explained your problems that you're going through so well that it's created like a rapport with you. I've then shared empathy or shown empathy to you, and I've then expanded by sharing my own story, how almost failing English in high school helped me become a successful freelance writer. And that kind of heading is going to make people go, what? How did failing English help you become a successful freelance writer? Those two, you wouldn't expect that. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do, is to get them to wonder how that was possible. And then I continue with, I have a confession to make. Then I share, and I call this the before, the spark, and the result, which is a typical storytelling formula. Or I also call it the before, the during, and the after. Either way, it's the same thing. Before, I start off by sharing the similar struggles that I went through. And you can pause the video if you want to read this. I shared my story a lot before. Then the spark, or the during, is the discovery. So before, I was lost. I was just like you. I had these challenges. Things were difficult, right? And I relate to their struggles, which are true for me as well. And then the discovery, or the spark, is something changed all of that. In this case, I discovered copywriting and I started reading books and I taught myself copywriting. That was the spark that allowed me to go from where I was to discover copywriting, which is the spark, and then allowed me to go to the result, or the after, which is where I am now. And in this case, I was able to get my first client, right? So we've got the before, which is relating to their problems and challenges, the during, or the spark, which is what was the event or the thought process that allowed you, or the discovery that allowed you to go to the next stage, which is the result that your audience wants, which is to get clients and to start their own business. Then I go down and I expand on the result by talking about what my life is like now. I'm able to travel. I've been a digital nomad for a number of years, writing from my laptop, making a real living, traveling the world. I know these are things that that I've personally are living right now. I'm recording this video from Thailand, and then I'm relating to, I know my audience wants this as well, so I'm painting the picture of what life could be like if they take this course, if they learn copywriting, if they become a freelance writer. Then I further back up the opportunity. And that's something I often like to do in sales pages. I talk about the opportunity. And this adds further credibility, because I'm not just saying, hey, you can make money as a freelance writer. I'm saying this is actually a $1 trillion industry, freelancing as a whole. And freelance writing in itself is also, a multi-billion-dollar industry. But the whole industry is even bigger, right? So I say, look, this is the opportunity. And I back up my claims with proof by, using statistics, using other sources, showing news articles. All of this is adding credibility to my claims. I'm not just saying, hey, I made money as a freelance writer. I'm saying, look at the opportunity here. Look at what the media are saying about this opportunity. Look at the different stats. And I add sources and figures and things like this, boost the credibility. So I've painted the opportunity to show, hey, this is a huge opportunity for you. I've shown it's possible because I've done it and other people are doing it. And then finally, I'm ready to introduce the course, ready to introduce the solution. In this case, it's obviously my course. Now, I introduce the course, and in this section, what I do is I say, this is what it is. This is what you get. These are the inclusions. This is the price. That's essentially what I'm doing when I introduce the product or the course or the service. So what you can do with digital products, like this is an online course, is you can show a digital, product image, which in this case, they're getting PDFs, they're getting access to videos, and I'm showing all of that with this kind of nice course bundle design. And that adds and makes the product more desirable when they can see it, right? I then summarize what they get. I say, join today and get instant access to all of this, and I go over the inclusions. I then go into the price where I summarize it again. I've got the join now button. If people are ready to buy, again, this is kind of the middle of the sales page so they can buy. I then reveal the price and I offer a discount, which obviously increases the desire for it because people love discounts. They love saving money. I then go into detail. So at the top section here, I've introduced the product and I've given a quick overview of what's included, right? I've done that actually twice, which you don't need to do that twice. I could have maybe deleted this section, just, had this order box here, but I then go into detail about each inclusion. So those people, those 20% that read word for word, know exactly what each module includes, right? This video goes into all of this. I then have for each module or each inclusion, I have an image which shows, hey, this is a real thing. It exists. I've got a heading, and then I've got bullet points talking about what they learn. And I'll save bullet points for another video, but bullet points are a great way to just briefly explain what people get without telling them too much. So it increases desire for what you're offering. So this goes into each of the modules of the course, which I won't go through now. There's actually more than 3 modules. I think there's 5 or 6 modules, but I cut the page short just so we get to the other sections here. Of course, if you want to see this page, go to startcopywriting.com/freelance writer blueprint, and you can check it out yourself. This is where I go into bonuses. So these are all the additional bonuses that I'm including. And I give them things like things I know that will help them and that they want, like how to have a sales call with a client. That's the discovery call questions. How do you send a proposal and a quote? Well, I've got a template on that, right? How do you interview your client and gather the necessary research information you need to write? I give them my research questionnaire, how to find jobs. I give them job pitching template and so on and so on. Now, you also want to have, regardless of what you're selling, you want to have a section on your sales page where you answer the question, which all of your visitors are secretly thinking, and that is, why should you listen to me? Or why should I listen to you, right? So I say, who is Jesse Forrest and why should you listen to me? And I play devil's advocate, meaning I answer that question. And I go into detail here. And again, I've made it easy for the scanners and scrollers by having short paragraphs, by listing out my achievements that are relevant in bulleted form list so that people can scan through and quickly get a gist of why I'm credible, why you should believe me, why you should trust me. And I answer that question in this section. And you should do the same thing and try to include as many specific reasons why they should. I don't just say, I've been a freelance writer for many years. I say, I've been a freelance copywriter for the last 20 years, since 2004, working with hundreds of clients in over 103 different industries. And what that does, by adding so many specifics in the form of numbers, that shows, hey, he's so specific, it's obviously believable, right? When you add specific numbers to your claims, it makes them more believable. And of course, it is believable because it's true. I then offer a really valuable free bonus. I call this like a no-brainer bonus. that's valued at $450 US, and that's a one-on-one personalized coaching session. This is more valuable than the entire course and is worth more than the entire course. So by adding this, it should make this even more desirable, right? Because they can see the value here and they know that, this is truly valuable. So it makes it even more desirable. So often you want to make your bonuses more valuable than what you're actually selling to really convince and persuade people to buy it. They say, wow, this is such a great deal. Look at everything that I'm getting. I also add a qualification section where I say who this is for. Like, you should join if, and then I say you should be this kind of person, and you should not join if you are this kind of person. So it's almost like takeaway selling, like saying, don't buy this. And people go, why shouldn't I buy it? And then they sell themselves. But more importantly, you qualify them, right? If someone buys, they're just looking to make a quick buck. They're not actually interested in becoming a freelance writer. They just want to get rich quick. I don't want those people taking my course. There's too many headaches. I don't want that kind of person consuming my content. I don't want to jump on a call with them and provide coaching because their mindset is all wrong. So I actively say, if you're this type of person, don't join. I don't want you to join. It saves me the hassle in the future, and it makes the people that are qualified love this even more because they go, wow, he really cares about having the right people join his course. Then we've got another join now. But then go into testimonials, which are pretty obvious. What you want to do with testimonials, where you can add photos of the person providing the testimonial, add their full name, include just the highlights of the testimonial. Some testimonials are really long. People won't actually read super long testimonials. So what you want to do is not change the testimonial text, but you want to edit it down to just like the most impressive parts, which is usually what they loved about the program specifically, as opposed to just rambling on or saying it was really good, which doesn't really tell us much, does it? So testimonials have all of those elements. We can see they're real people. We can see they've got real names. We can Google them and see that. I've chosen testimonials that are more impressive than other ones because they talk about benefits or results or what they truly loved specifically. I then repeat the offer at the bottom because remember, high percentage will scroll all the way to the bottom and then they'll finally consider your offer, and that's when you want to present it to them again. I then have an FAQ section, which I think is really important. FAQs will cut down on the amount of people that send questions in because you've already answered them on the page, but it'll also help you to overcome objections. So things like, what happens if I sign up or after I sign up? What is your refund policy, right? Like, what if I don't like it? What happens then? And I go into other common questions I receive via email. I answer here, and also objections like, hey, I'm working full time. Can I still do this? And I answer that question. So put them at ease, overcome the objections, and then they're able to sign up because they understand everything about the program and I've overcome their objections. Earnings disclaimer is important to say, hey, just if you buy this, you won't automatically become a successful freelance writer. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy. Not everyone succeeds, and it's important to add from a legal standpoint. So this has been my sales page review and how to write a sales page video. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.